So this is going to be my top 5 Clint Eastwood Western films. It's not my top 5 Clint Eastwood films, but it's my top 5 Westerns that he's done. Clint Eastwood is my all-time favourite actor, and Westerns is one of my top favourite genres of films. I love Western films. I love a really good Western film, and Clint Eastwood is, my favourite actor. I think Clint Eastwood tops John Wayne, although I do love John Wayne as well. I love John Wayne's films, but Clint Eastwood Westerns are my favourite. I'll start by saying that I haven't seen a Clint Eastwood Western that I haven't liked. I love them all. I've seen them all, and I love them all. So I'm just going to do a top 5. This list will probably, a year from now, this list will probably change, but at the moment this is my top 5 favourite Clint Westerns. So without further ado, there we go. Number 5, Unforgiven. This film is just awesome. It's about these two outlaws who are old and sort of retired, and they get asked to go, they get back together and go to collect this bounty. It's a very, very good film. This was Clint Eastwood's last Western. I think it came out in 1992. It also stars Gene Hackman and Morgan Freeman, who also do a terrific job. Particularly Morgan Freeman is awesome in this movie, as is Clint Eastwood. I read that Clint Eastwood actually waited until he'd aged a bit before making this film. So that's dedication to movies. Unforgiven, a terrific film. I believe Clint Eastwood also directed this film, as with a couple of other ones in this list as well. But number 5, Unforgiven. Coming in at number 4 is A Fistful of Dollars. I love the whole Dollars trilogy. A Fistful of Dollars, I believe, was the first Western that Clint was in, but I could be wrong about that. I need to check that up. But I think this was the first spaghetti Western he was in. This was the first of Sergio Leone's movies he was in, and this is an awesome movie. Who'll forget the scene? There's such a memorable scene where he's walking back towards these 3 outlaws, and he walks past the guys like, prepare 3 coffins, and then he ends up shooting. He's like, my mistake, 4 coffins. That just cracks me up every time. Clint Eastwood playing as the man with no name, one of the most memorable movie characters of all time, and I just love this film. Fistful of Dollars is just a terrific movie. And coming in at number 3, High Plains Drifter. This is a great film. I just recently watched this again over New Year, and I loved it even more. He plays this sort of mysterious character. He goes into this town of Lago. He kind of teaches them to look after themselves, and eventually helps them fight off these outlaws. It's a great film, and then at the end, it's good how at the start you see him kind of riding into town from nowhere really, and then at the end you just see him drifting off again. It's a really good film. I definitely recommend you watch this film if you've not seen it. High Plains Drifter at number 3. Number 2, none other than The Outlaw Josey Wales. I just love this film. Probably one of the best films, or best performances even, from Clint Eastwood. I just love this film. I haven't seen it for a wee while. I'm probably going to watch this again, but I've seen it so many times. It was on the TV not too long ago, I think, actually, one Saturday. I remember watching it. It was a couple of months back anyway since I've seen this. And I just love this film. Josie Wales is a terrific character. Clint Eastwood portrays the character excellently, and I believe he directed this film as well. This film won so many Academy Awards, and just a terrific film. And number one is my favourite Clint Eastwood western, but it's also my favourite film of all time. And you've probably guessed it by now. It is The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. What can be said about this film that hasn't been said already? It is everything that a western should be. The story is terrific. The characters are brilliant. I think maybe just slightly Clint Eastwood's character gets overshadowed by Eli Wallach, who plays Tuco in this. He's a character. He's a horrible guy, Tuco, but you kind of like him. You know, like, as the film goes on, you kind of get to like Tuco, which I really liked that in this film. And then you've got Lee Van Cleef, who plays Angel Eyes, and he's just an evil bastard. You know, Angel Eyes, you just really dislike Angel Eyes, and Lee Van Cleef did an awesome job. The three of them, Clint Eastwood, Lee Van Cleef, Eli Wallach, terrific. And that end sequence with the three of them at the graveyard at the end, probably one of the most epic scenes in all of movie history. And the score to this as well, I love the score on this. Ennio Morricone, I believe it is, the Ecstasy of Gold tune that plays when Tuco's running around looking for the grave. It is just... there's nothing that can be said that hasn't been said already about this film. This is just my number one film of all time, and my favourite Clint Eastwood film. So yeah, that's my top 5 list. Definitely, if you've not seen any of these movies, I recommend you go out and see these. Pick them up, DVD or Blu-ray. They're reasonably cheap. Terrific watches. So yeah, if you feel free to leave a video response, or let me know what your top 5 Clint Eastwood westerns are, or just top 5 westerns in general. But yeah, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.